Alrighty. I'll grab that for a clip if I can. I'm going to probably miss that one by now, but let's grab 20 seconds on that. Hopefully my audio line is in. Hopefully we're seeing stuff right. And I'm playing catch-up here, trying to get these guys looking good. Bring up the box score. Give Timmy the backwards spare. As you can see here at Westgate, they're a little slick. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, I should be in a better spot now. He's going to pick up 2 there, leaving himself the 2, the 6, and the 10. Wait on the bowler's call on that one. I think he called that a 7. Not to be controversial after what we've gone through, but bowler has the right to make the call on whether those balls are in or out, and I believe that's Matt making the modifications there to call that a foul. Settle for a 7 box, 32 through 3. Oh, my pin cam's not on. Just off his mark. Did I not make the modifications here? Oh, he's going to punch through the noggin there. What did I do wrong? I had it looking good. Bear with me. I will get this sorted. He's going to snake one out of there for a 9 box. And I will continue to figure out why my bowling visuals aren't showing. Oh, he's going to go right through the nose. Let me get this back. There we go. Let me bring the Y down a little. There's my pin cam. Sorry, guys. It's hiding out of view. Covered on the split. He's looking to play the plates here because if you look at the pin cam up above, you'll notice that the plates themselves are actually just more of the synthetic lanes. So they're very, very fast. As Matt's going to sit down with a 71.5. Do a quick test. That's looking good. Hopefully we've got some ambient noise coming in through the Yeti. We'll get this out of here as we switch up to Tim Douglas. I'll bring up his information on the right, hopefully, so I figure stuff out there. Timmy sitting at 2-12 in the season. He ran into a tough first match. I unfortunately had his number, but here he is firing away. Well, they say the lanes are fast. Normally that might have just been the quarter Worcester, but he gets the 3 and the 5 and somehow still has wood on the plate. Blows up the nose. The 7's holding on for dear life. So he's got a 6-7 split. Piece of wood in the middle. So I'm looking at the gutters there. They look pretty flat as Tim's going to settle for an 8 box here, opening up in the first string. And I apologize for kind of the low ceiling there on the pin decks. It's just that the facades they have there, they come down pretty low in the front, and Tim's pretty tall, so I've got to work hard to get over him. There we go. Let's get a clip of that one, and if I do this right, we'll be able to watch that again as he picks up the strike here in the second. Great mix, great swish, great results. Cleaning up my instant replays so I don't fall into the same trap I've done before. Ooh. Straight on the nose. Plucks out the spread eagle. This is a... Ah, see, still couldn't get around his head. He takes the 4 and the 7. That'll be a 6 fill on the strike. Looking at the 2 and then the 3, 6, 10. And he's going to chip one out for a 7 box, so 31 through 3. Both bowlers with a split in the third, and leaving some sticks up on the plate. As you can see down the bottom, Matt's color for the match is blue. Tim's color for the match is red. So an 18-point lead at the half at the match. And Tim didn't like that ball. Saw him turn around as soon as he threw it. In the end, he's left with quite a mess here. The 1, the 4, the 9, and the 10. And he's going to find the hole where the 2-pin was. So looking for an out here up against the 9 box. See if we can make something of this. That's about as much you get out of there, right? So he managed to slip out the 1 and the 4, but no luck on the back 2. He's going to settle for an 8-box 39. Trailing by 10 with just the 1 box to go here for the half. See if Timmy can tie it up. Got Brittany Underwood here. She's doing her TikTok live stream, so people that are watching live time will get the updates immediately. And if you're waiting for me, you're going to have to wait until I get home this afternoon, do the intro and all that kind of fun stuff. Timmy's got the sideways triangle, the 2, 5, 8. Nice piece of wood in front, but that one's going to slide away from him to the right. You can see the frustration on his face. Slides the 5 out of there, so just a half Worcester on the left to take care of. And no, it's going to be a 9 box. All right, so 1/2's out of the way. We'll get the scores out of here. We'll bring up Mr. Nichols' information. We'll move the scoreboard over to the left. So Matt's first match was against Jeremy Seaholm, who roughed him up for a 4-10 loss, despite throwing really well at Millis. And he's going to start out his second half with a split, looking at the 4-7 on the left, the 6 all the way over to the right. Oof. Went for the 2, settled for 1. So now he's got the 6 and the 7. And not enough motion on the plate to get over there. He'll settle for the 9 box. 58 with 4 to go. I apologize for my scores being backwards. I'm used to the first bowler being the red bowler, but Matt made Timmy go first, and that's all there is to it. But he wanted to go first. Despite being the home bowler, it's the Justin Waters strategy that's caught on, and that is not a head pin hit. So the 1-5, everything to the left is gone. It's got kind of a crappy piece of wood out front, so you just want to get this right in the pocket there, and absolutely does to clean up the spares. So we'll do a quick replay of that. And I need to check to make sure that my replay audio is off, and it is. All right. So finally, sitting on a spare, chance to get above par for the first time this match. Actually, I take it back. He was above par in the second box. Actually, both bowlers were before giving away, but stepping up for the fill. That's a pretty good fill. He's going to pick up where he left off, unfortunately. He's got a 6-7 split. I got to say, depending on what happens with that back piece, I really like the way the wood's laid out there. It's going to cuddle up against the 6. Boy, I think this is absolutely wired to explode. Catch that front piece of wood on the right. And prove us all wrong all day, every day, as the wood just completely gets the hell out of town. And what can you do? Gonna take the 9 box with a skip lob there. 85 with a pair to go. But hey, back on the positive side. We're here at Westgate Lanes in Brockton. There are, 10 candlepin lanes hiding out here on the side. They are synthetic lanes. Looks like wood approaches. And as previously mentioned, as Nichols is on the head pin for the 6th time, first time without a split. As you can see on the pin cam, the synthetic wood is carried right through to the pit. There you go. Picks up the spare. So 95 plus through 9. That one's going to stay a bit outside, but no worse for the wear. A good 7 drop there, leaving the 1-2-4 up front. 102 plus. Going to pull that one a little. Leave the head pin standing. You can see the frustration as he kind of looks up. But right back at it, looking for the 112 here. Ooh, no. Chinese House of Ones with a 111 for Matt Nichols as we get Tim to come up. So as you can see from his first match, Tim had 5 strikes, 9 spares, 15 tens. That number will continue to climb throughout the season. Perfect box percentage. This is the number of strikes, spares, and tens out of all of the boxes he's thrown. He's 56%. Normally bowls out of timber. And wow, that is a loud version of everything but the 5 pins. So good solid 9 drop. No wood to help him in front. Doesn't need it. Clips the pin, takes the spare. So whatever he fills here will take a temporary lead. Doesn't he work? 58 plus the ball here as Timmy tries to take a temporary lead, but he's up against an 18 box. And he'll have an 18 box of his own on the head pin. A nice clean 4-7 to pick up. There's a piece of wood off to the right, but it's kind of behind the line, so this is just a target shot here. Oh, giant skip lob. But again, nothing wrong with the skip lob. Ball is down before the line. Just the second bounce, not so much. Oh, 1 pin at a time. Takes the 10 box. So neck and neck through 7, 76, 76. As you can see. Oh, hey, I forgot to put a little magic box up. I'm slacking. So as you can see, at the moment, Matt's got a 35-pin lead. Timmy's going to need 36, 35 to tie, 36 to take the string. And wow, the action off the side wall. Looking at the 1, the 7, and the 9. The wood, well, we were wrong before with Matt's pickup here, but the wood certainly looks like it's wired to go. Oh, Tim misses the head pin. He's going to want that one back. So just a single stick to take a 1-pin lead through 8. But again, still needing a mark to have a chance at the string. And he's also going to struggle with the head pin. So neck and neck with 2 to go. Up against the 17 here. It's pretty wild when you look at it. I mean, kind of the way the bowling goes. Or at least Candlepin does. This house has a whole bunch of 10-pin lanes. Looks like they're separated by a big arcade in the middle. Oh, no. The 189. So, does count as the head pin hit. Does not count as a split because of the 5-pin connecting the chain there. So. Gives it a ride. This is the kind of house where you think it'd go. Everything but the 3 and the 6. So he's going to need to pick up these pins, and then we'll absolutely need a mark in the 10th. And grabs them both. So 95, he's going to need a mark and 7 to win the string. Tim and Matt are both in the same division as myself and Jeremy Seaholm. We're in the A South Division 4. So we're going to see hopefully some good matches between the 4 of us. As Tim's going to come out to the left. Leaves the 4-horse down the right-hand side. 9 pins sleeping behind it. It's a tough spare, especially when you throw as hard as he does to try to find a way to get through to that 9. So let's see how it goes here. And no. So Matt will take the first string. Give him the 2 points there at the bottom. And that's kind of what I feared with Timmy's ball on that. So he's going to get an 8 out of that, a 103. We'll bring up the stats and the scores, as you can see right there for the match. Matt with a 111, Tim with a 103. No strikes for Matt. 3 spares, 6 head pins, 5 splits. Tim was a strike, a spare, 6 head pins, and a split. We'll get the... is he going to start off on the same side, or is he crossing back over? I'm not quite sure. Looks like he's going to stay on the same side. All right. So Matt Nichols set to fire away here in the second as I take away his 9 box like a mean person. And he's going to be on the head pin. Got the triangle 6 on the right with a stick in between. We'll see how that plays out. Plays out just fine. So out of the gates on fire here with the spare. Kind of a fun setup here as far as trying to get the cameras in and everything else. As you can see, the bowlers walking away from the bowling area and out. It's all flat. On the fill for the second time that we've seen it. Oh, it looks like there is a bit of a lip there. Watching the way that those pins are reacting, so the surface is synthetic, but there is some form of a lip between. Oh, no luck getting over there though. Between the lane and what is considered the plate there, even though the synthetic material's there, there's some sort of a ledge. Take the 10 box, so perfect through 2, 28. Good start for Matt. Those of you not familiar with the ACST format, both bowlers bowl head-to-head without any handicap. Each string is worth 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. You don't get anything for losing. Total pinfalls, just double the value. 4 points for the win, 2 points for a tie, and nothing for losing. So 14 points are available in the match. And bowlers will bowl 18 matches over the season. Matt's doing his best to block out Matt, and Matt's going to be just off his mark there. Looking at the 1 and the 7 to clean up for a 10 bucks. And it'll be a 9. Everything but the 7 pin. So 37 through 3 as Matt tries to iron out his ship here. Getting ready to fire away in the 4th. It's going to be a little thin coming across the head pin, and what was parallel pins is no longer parallel pins anymore. It's resulted in just being a 5-9 pickup. And heard him make the comment as soon as he threw the ball. Looks like it got out of his hand a little too quick. Went out to the right, took out the 9. No luck on the 5. But spot on target for a 10 box. 47 with 1 to go. As I'm trying to find out the best way to keep myself untangled here. Matt will be on the head pin for the 4th time in 5 boxes, and things are still moving around, but that 9 pin is not going to find a way to go down. Frustrated without the strike. That piece of this is nightmare fuel. I'm sure you can see. I saw the head drop. You need to cap this, but I think even if you cap it, that piece of wood there behind. Yeah, that was a rough setup, and I think even if he had hit it, I think that piece of wood that you see there to the side might have done a good job of ruining all the fun all the same. All right, so again, we'll bring up Timmy's numbers as we switch over to him for the half. I think Mr. Nichols has had enough, and he's switching out bowling balls there. As Timmy gets set to fire away here. And is going to hit Drew Steele's chop zone. Taking out the 3-5-9. So he's got the 4 horse with the 8 sleeping behind it on the left-hand side, the 6 and the 10 over to the right. And this time, coming a little too far to the left. So got some work to do here, looking at the 1, the 6, the 7, and the 10. Not really a lot of help out of that wood. We'll see how this plays out. Wow. Picks up the high-low jack. Unfortunately, the 6 is still standing. Great ball. Just not enough love. And this one's going to come across and put him almost back in the same spot. So he misses wide to the left, he's got the 1 and the 3, 7, 9, and 10. A couple pieces of wood there. I don't know that they are super helpful. Catches it a little solid and takes out the 1, the 3, the 10, but still got the 7 and the 9. A couple pieces of wood on the plate. They're angled, but I don't know how that's going to work with his ball and this house. Yep. So a pair of 9 boxes to open up. He finds himself in a 10-pin hole for the string. As previously mentioned, he lost the first string, and you can see below that 38 pins will catch him up to Matt at the half. The 10 for blue means Matt has a 10-pin lead through completed boxes, and the additional 10 pins from the first string, or the 8 pins from the first string, sorry, making that 46 for the half. It is. Yep. 6-7 split once again. This time it's for Tim and not Matt, which I guess can make Matt feel happy because he's been looking at it the whole day. So Tim's first shot at, oh, he gets that wood square on the cap. You could see it just kind of come to a stop. The ball sat on the plate for a while. Only the 6, nothing getting over to the 7. And a clean 10 box. So gains a pin back on it, 28 through 3. So I'm sitting here still playing with stuff. Well, that's something different. Don't think I've seen that before. I think we're on our... Why is that being a jerk? I think we're on our first... Wow. Not really sure what to make of that. I think my little... my splitter is no good. Trying to find the right way to get this to work so I can... My splitter sucks. All right, Mr. Douglas here. On the head pin, and they're both going to go this time. Second strike of the match. A little bit of a late love coming off of the wall there. It does count for him. So 2 strikes for Timmy, none for Matt so far in this match, but I'm sure that'll change. Waiting on the reset. These machines are a little different than I've seen before, where the sweep just kind of stops, or the pin tubes will stop wherever it feels like at the time. I don't know if that's because they're converted from 10-pin or what the story is. Yep, and there goes the 5-pin. So bring in the next delay. So the sweep comes down, hangs about halfway, while it's waiting for the pins to load up in the tubes. At least that's what I'm expecting. Make sure my audio is looking good here. I think we are doing pretty well on the out. And yeah, I like it. So with Timmy sitting on the strike in the 4th, chance to get the string back under control for sure. Hopefully get a shot at the match. That one's going to stay a little out to the right. He picks up the 3-2 split, so he's looking at the 1, the 2, the 5, 8, 9. Nice piece of wood in the middle of it to help him. So if he can hit it high enough to take out the 1-2, this should snowplow the rest of it for him. And exactly that puts the spare on the strike. A nice 20 box to sit. As Matt comes up for the second half, so we'll move the scoreboard over to the other side. Bring up Matt's information over there. So Matt's first match against Jeremy Seaholm is 6-14 with 6 strikes, 14 spares, and 11 tens for a 62% perfect box rate. And a 122.8 average through his first match. And that is not going to count as a head pin hit as the pin comes back to take it out. So looking at the 2, 4, 7, and 8 as that wood finds its way off the lane. That other wood is right to the front of my camera, but I don't think that that's a problem as far as being too far forward. Gets up nice and high. Ooh! Saw the ball come back out of the pit. Dance on the back of the lane, but just not enough to get to that 8-pin. Ooh! It's going to sizzle it by for a 9. So 65 as both bowlers are just a little under the the expected rate of clean boxes I'd expect out of them, although 4 spares, 3 10s through 16 boxes for Matt. Through 15, Tim has 2 strikes, 2 spares, and 3. So 7 for 15 for Tim. And so when they, it is really weird. When they pause the lanes, everything shuts down. It's kind of funky. I think if you've ever, hit any of the buttons to clear the gutter or anything anywhere else, I don't think you've seen that kind of behavior. Part of the fun of the ACST, though, is bowling in all the different houses and learning all the nuances and quirks of the different places that you're bowling. He's going to punch through the 2-hole, leaving the 1, the 3, and the 7. Got some wood to brace the 3, which, yeah, it's definitely going to make the 7 go easier, but unfortunately for him, he missed the head pin, so. Just checking out the scoreboard up above him. I wonder what he was looking at. And that's going to be a 9 box, as the head pin is elusive for that last couple boxes. Matt's looking to put one down the center. 74 with 3 to go. As Bob Lee would say, 4 over par. But, when you're in the A's, you're expecting to throw probably high 500s, 600s every match out there. So certainly behind the pace that he wants to be at right now. A little thin on the right-hand side. Dances around, ends up with the 1, the 9, and the 10. And absolutely no help getting at him. We'll see how this plays out. Gets the head pin, but unfortunately after hitting it, the ball goes right between the 9 and the 10. That one pin looks like the tape that they used on it is just like black electrical tape. That'll be another 9 box. So 999 has him at 83 with a pair to go. Matt's hoping to set up the pace and make Timmy have to chase him, but I don't think this is the pace he wants to be at. There we go. Finally pops his cherry in the match. Picks up the strike. Good mix there, finally topping the 8 into the 7. And there you have it. So 93 with a pair. Only his 5th head pin of the string. And there you go. Double it up. Nice big solid pocket crack. So that changes all sorts of things dramatically. So now technically at 113, but one ball will count twice. See if you can triple it up. That'll have him sitting with 9 perfect boxes through 2 strings, so 9 out of 20. 12 out of 20 for head pins. Number 3. Oh, it's light and it's dancing and it's spinning. And that'll be worth 8, so he's sitting at 121 and actually 129 plus whatever the hell he can do here. And there it is. So rescuing that one from the fire. 131. Most of that coming in the last 2 boxes. 48 pins, what there? In 2 boxes. We'll bring up Tim's information real quick as he comes up trying to cut into that. He's going to need 74, including this fill ball, to take this string. Get this out of here and let him fire away. Oh, and that's not going to, well, all right. If you're going to get an ugly spit, might as well get the extra pin. So the 10 falls down. He's got the clipped eagle. The left-hand wing's intact, and the 3 and the 6 on the right side. So, well, he gets the left back 2 to dance, but unfortunately for him, that's not going to make a difference here. Needs to pick up a couple of sticks. He's going to take out 1. So 71 with 4 to go. He's going to need 62 pins. So I'm going to guess at least 3 marks. See some older fella there bowling on lane 9. As Timmy fires away. He's coming across. I actually just watched that pin go end over end in the middle of the plate. It's got the 1, the 3, the 9, and the 10. Oh, I saw that one out of his hand just stay out to the right. So everything but the head pin. You know, he's got some work cut out for him here. They'll be at 80 or 81, needing 50. There it is, 81. So down to 3 boxes now to get 51 pins. So that's 3 17s. It's going to be a tall order. We'll see if Tim can deliver. This is a game of spares. But it's hard when you see that score. You feel like you need to really try to throw those strikes. And all of this mixing, is that going to flatten out for him? Is it coming? Is it coming? Oh, it's going to wrap in behind the 3 pin. So good head pin hit. No love on the 3. Got a piece of wood out in front to play runway. But why use that when you can just drill the pin as he does? Gets 1 spare, so 1 down. Hopefully a big fill here. Stay away from the head. Well, hit the head, but stay away from the splits that he's had troubles with today. Actually, to be fair, he's only had 3 splits while Matt's had 6. And what's going to happen here? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. But an 18 box is a big help on the way, so he's going to need 33 over these last 2, which is at least 1 pin in the right direction. He's got the 5-9 piece of wood behind the 5 if he can get to it. Right on it. Beautiful ball. Quick run of 2 in a row here for Tim. 109 plus a ball. So the deficit is now down to 22, and it'll get lower with this fill. But he will need a mark up against a 20 box. All right. So it's going to be 7 as the what was parallel pins just becomes a triangle 6. 116 through 9. Again, he will need to convert the spare. There's a piece of wood to the left, just looking to be a jerk. Although if he comes far enough, he could use it as a sweep. We'll see how it goes. Right at the pins, and beautiful. Needing 3 spares, getting 3 spares. So 126. I don't want to say anything, but all he needs here is a fill of 6 to take the string. As Tim gets ready to fire away. And we'll take it with an 8 drop. Way to rally back, 134 to 131 as Matt congratulates Tim. Getting 2 points apiece so far. And they're staying on this side, so a great rally back by Timmy. Matt has definitely given up on the first set of balls and sticking with the second. As they change out, and I wait to see which side they're going to set up on. Alrighty, that allows me to move my scoreboard for him. Get the hover out of the way as bowlers are at 2 points apiece. 2 points apiece. And there is just a 5-pin difference between him and the match as Tim comes back and wins that second string. 134 to 131. And Matt is going to start us off by spiraling around all of the wood. Everything but the 2. 4 pins surrounding it. Absolutely. Wiping off the sweat, probably a little facetiously. You know, you get a little nervous when you have all that wood, but well, it might have been legitimate. You never know. So once again, Timmy starting out with a mark. Sorry, Matt starting out with just a mark. And is it going to wrap the 5? No. So a 19 right out of the gates. He's got a really tough piece of wood right up against it. He's able to pop off of it. 2 in a row, starting out the 3rd string. I think both of these guys have kind of settled in a little here at Westgate. relaxing and just throwing good balls in the right spots. Oh, I spoke too soon. The downside of a place that's quick. Rips right through the heart of it, takes out the 1, the 5, and the 8. So spread eagle plus the 9 pin. Comes inside, gets it dancing, but no love. 3 and the 10 still stand. Nice piece of wood there to help guide it if he hits that 3. I think it's an automatic 10 box. There you go. 42 through 3. After a couple of marks starting it out, I'm sure he wants to have a couple more before he sits down. Crushes the pocket, everything but the 4-pin. And he's going to pop through the wood there that was in front. Pick up his 3rd spare of the half. I think, well, again, because I'm in this division with him, I actually get to bowl here against him at some point in time. I bowl out of spare time, so I'll be seeing Tim and Matt both up at spare time at some point. Same thing with Jeremy Seelholm. A little skip lob. Oh, no worse for the wear. No worse for the wear at all. Absolutely obliterates the pocket. Big splash, slicing down the 6 and 7, which had sat in their face a few times. We'll get that out of the way. So a 72 plus half for Nichols. As Timmy sits up, seeing if he can start chipping into this and keep his streak going. Now he's going to punch through the chop zone. Once again, the 3, 5, 9 are out of there. What doesn't he do? Ah, there you go. The 1 and the 6 left as Tim clips through the left-hand side. Whoa! Out of all of that, everything kind of spun all the way around, and somehow the 6-pin just stayed out of the way. So an opening 9 box. Timmy finds himself 64 pins behind. Actually more than that, depending on what Matt can do when he gets up in the second half. A little too full on the head pin, and that wood's going to get the hell out of town. So a really yucky split here with the 6, 7, 8, and 10. It's a piece of wood all the way over to the left, but I can't see that being super helpful unless he tries to come off the cap of that. Ooh, you got the 6 and the 10. Thought he was trying to get it to come across off the wall, which probably isn't a bad idea here. But the 7 and the 8 still standing. And right on it for 10 bucks. You want in? Alrighty. So 19 with a pair with 3 to go. Finds himself needing 54 plus to catch up at the half. As Matt has an early 13-pin lead in the match through completed boxes. And Timmy's going to block my view, and he's going to pay for it by having the 4 horse down the right side when he's left with this. Guy is tall. I have like a, I think I see about a 4 to 6 inch gap between his head and the TV screens here. And he is going to go down and probably kick that 6-pin after the first box left it hanging, and then the 4 horse just ripping around it. But there it goes, 29 through 3 up against a 20 box. So this is when it gets kind of heavy for him. We'll see if he can just kind of shut out the noise and put a couple of boxes together here. That one looked like it was going to stay outside. Not necessarily a horrible thing here. The 1, the 2, the 7, and the 8. He's got an interesting piece of wood in behind the 2. You're going to want to probably get that 2 pretty solid. Yeah, kind of came outside the 1 pin. And that wood did kind of what I expected it to do, leaving the 8-pin naked. So unfortunately, no mark for him here. See if we can drill the 8. Excellent pinning. 3 10s in a row has him at 39, but unfortunately that 39 has him in a hole. Up against a strike. Already trailing 23 through completed boxes. And he's going to need a mark here to stay in this one, or otherwise he's going to have a complete roll reversal in the second half of this string. It does happen here. A very thin head pin hit. He's going to rip out the lambda, so he's got the Starlight 5 on the left, the post all the way over on the right. It's got a teasing piece of wood. You can't use that wood. You've just got to blow up the front diamond here as hard as you can and hope that something kicks that 5 over into the 10. And he does, but just not enough to get to the 10, and that's no fault of his own. That's a tough pickup. 10's hiding behind a couple pieces of wood. And he's going to ride it home, so certainly not exactly the kind of booming string he was hoping to have, or booming start he was hoping to have, just 49 through 5. But that said, only 1 pin left on the deck, as it was a 9 followed by 4 10s. And we'll have Matt come up over here, trying to finish up this string, sitting on 72 plus a pair. And, well, yeah. So that was a pretty high and heavy split. An extra pin fell, so he's looking at the 6, the 7, and the 9. Great double piece. Yep. Great planks in front of it, and that's going to turn into a pretty spare. His second 20 bucks in a row. 92 plus through 6. I don't know if that was really how he was aiming to shoot that one, but that second piece of wood was right there to kind of kick over for him, and certainly not going to give it back. And no drive on that ball. The streak of 20s comes to an end, but just the 5 and the 8 stand between him and a spare. Oh! Well, it ends at 3 in a row. Chips out the 5, and that 9 pin is... He's going to hit this thing right on the noggin. Or not. It'll be a 9 bucks. 109. Still 3 boxes to go. Stretching his lead in the string and looking to take a big chunk in the match here. Just past the midway point. Tim Douglas, through his first 25 boxes, is 14 out of 25 on the head pin with 5 splits, 2 strikes, 5 spares, and 8 10s. Matt's going to be off the head pin here. It's going to trail out to the right. He's going to leave the 1, 2, 4, and then the 9. And, wow, good ball. Just blows it up. So he's back on track now with a spare. $119 plus through 8. And that one's going to come across to the left. So a little struggle here on the head pin for Matt after being 7 for 7 out of the gates. It is a 6 fill. He's got the 1, the 3, the 6, and the 7. And I think he was teased by the piece of wood to the left of the head pin. Went maybe trying to catch the head pin in that piece of wood, and unfortunately takes out the 1, the 3, the 7. But the 6 is standing. Or at least it was. A 10 box, 135 with a box to go. So the first 7 were all on the head pin. Had a pair of splits in there. That 9 box is going to stick out there as possibly ruining the perfect string for him. And he's going to catch the head pin light on the way by, and the 5 falls forward, but just misses the 3. So it's a 9 drop. But right on target here for another spare. Absolutely. 145. 145 plus a ball here as he fires away, looking for 150, and no. Give it a nice, easy chance at it. He's going to settle for a 149 if that's to be considered bad. So Timmy is coming up against a mountain. He is needing a 100 half to tie. Let's see how we can do it here. That's a good start on the noggin. Leaving the 2 and the 5. No wood to really help him. Splits him perfectly for the spare, so, you know, when you need a 100 half. Whoops, I didn't want to do it that way. I did it backwards. Sorry, folks. But I'll be able to replay that probably with 3 or 4 seconds of Matt's head in there, and hopefully still get Tim's hopefully still get Tim's spare. I hate when I click the wrong buttons. I'm an idiot. Timmy firing away in the 7th. Phew, second time that's happening to him. It's just, he doesn't want to split. Comes in a little light. Starlight 5 off to the left. 10 over to the right. Oh, gives it another good run. Shaves out the 4, not enough to get the 5. So the 5 and the 10 to pick up. And he'll take out 1 for a $9. Really tall order now. He's going to have to double his score in the last 3 boxes. 72 with 3 to go. And on the pocket, good and heavy. Everything but the 4 and the 7. He's got a piece of wood that continues to cheat up and get in the way. It flattened out on the lip there, but this is going to make this tricky. Timmy's, yep, on it, gets it to spin, but unfortunately, when you have a piece of flat wood like that, it's hard to get it to go straight forward and take out the 2 sticks you're hoping for. And there you go. It's going to be a 10 box, so 82. And the string is absolutely going to go to Matt because even with 4 strikes, this will end at a 142. So Matt will take a 4-2 advantage in the match. And Timmy is going to punch his way through there, taking out the 1, the 5, the 9, and the 10. So he's got a cluster of 4 on the left, 3 and the 6 off to the right. I think the idea was trying to cut the 4 over. I don't know that I wouldn't have gone for the 2 pins and try to get the 3 to get into the side and cause some trouble. Looks like that might not have been the worst call, but a 9 box, so frustrating. Frustrating luck for Tim here. 91, looking to get as many pins as he can at the end here, trailing by 58 in the string, 63 in the match. So pins are at a premium for him. He would love a mark. And he's back on the nose. The Greek church. I think that's what this is called. He's got the triangle 6. And then the 4 and the 7. He's got an interesting piece of wood up front. I mean, you can't not play this thing maybe up by the stripe, see what happens. Boom. Skip lob and all, and it still goes. So 101 plus a fill. Actually, probably the cleanest, quietest rack put on lanes that I think I've seen since I've come back to Candlepin. It'll be a 5 fill, 106.
So the thing's gonna stop.
And there you have it. Matt takes a pretty strong lead here with a 149 to 106 win in the 3rd string. He's up 48 pins in the match, 391 to 343. You know, tail of the tape at this point in time. 2 strikes, 7 spares, 19 head pins out of 30 for Timmy with 8 splits, 9 tens, a whole 18 pins left standing. These guys are pinning something great here. Matt, 3 strikes, 11 spares, 5 tens, 20 head pins, 8 splits, and just 15 pins left standing. And I think they've got a re-up at the desk or whatever for the match in the string. I don't know, TV timeout or something going on right now.
They can't do 5 strings, so they have to do 3 and then 2.
Oh, interesting.
The machines got shut off.
I gotcha. So we'll stall here for a little bit. Leave these stats up here, and all the fun continues. They've got to probably put in their names and everything like that again. I guess at the lanes they can only put in 3 strings at a time or something weird like that. Probably because their scoring system comes from 10-pin. 10-pin is almost universally just 3-string matches for leagues and everything else. So, yep, makes sense. It's a 10-pin system. No printer? No, that's funny. We'll make sure you take photos of your scores. So I believe, and I may be mistaken with this, but I believe that Dan Esdale is very familiar with this bowling alley. I believe he bowled out of here 10-pin for a long period of time. I mean, he actually still may. But yeah, here they are getting set up again. And hopefully soon we can return to firing away. All of the fun of Candlepin being the redheaded stepchild. Oh, you guys are teasing me. You guys are teasing me. There you go. You're all set. So they reset and everything each time. Just the systems. Are those 10-pin pin setters that they retrofit, or are they Candlepin pin setters? I really don't know. Like, it's hard to tell, but the timing, the rhythm, everything of these pin setters just a little different. That said, like when you watch the pin setter come down as we get ready in the 4th string here, it's just beautiful. Like those pins, like a lot of lanes, you know, the pin setters come down, you see the pins drop and wiggle a lot, and here they're pretty much on spot compared to a lot of places I've seen. Matt's going to miss the single 2-pin for a spare as we start out the 4th here. And we'll be right on it for the 10 box. So unlike the 2nd and the 3rd string where he started out with a spare, he's going to be on a little behind his pace here. He's back to what he did in the 1st string with a 10 box opener. But when you're up by a bunch, I guess. Whoa, all right. So what went looking like parallel pins in a 10 is now just a triangle 4, but the wood's going to probably come up, hit that lip. He's gonna have to get around it. I don't think I like that wood at all. Yep. We heard the wow. I think he kind of expected it was going to go, but I think it's kind of the fun of having the pin cam as you really get to look in and really see just where the wood is, how far forward it comes, and really how much of a pain it really is to work with at times. But that's kind of the beauty of Candlepin for you. I wonder what he's trying to fix here. Watching. Oh, it might be set to 2 boxes at a time. Was that it? 2 boxes at a time? Hey, at least he knows the system well enough to change it around. Can you undo it? If not, I'm scoring you either way. Not that us streamers are ever the official scorers, but We can do it, but I guess we get a little bit of a timeout here. I'll bring the stats back up while those guys try to address that. Actually, you know what I want to do? I think the last mark that we saw was that one where I kind of screwed it up. So let's see if I have that right. I'm going to replay the last one real quick. So, no, that was the Greek church. I got it. Never mind. This was actually still cool. We can watch it again anyways. That skip lob and just the destruction when it hits the pins. Beautiful down there. And they're going for a walk. I don't know what they're doing. Always fun. I think Matt's trying to see if he can get the scoring changed. I'll go over there and play with it a bit, see if I can do anything. I'm not expecting it, though. Hold, please. It's tough because, like, when you have like 2 hours or whatever, like trying to move it just 10 seconds is hard. You good? What's that? I tried moving to the next bowler. It just pushed you over to lane 3. What was that? Gotcha. Sweet. There we go. All righty. Let me get my scoreboard out of the way here. So after a little technicality, again, being based on a 10-pin scoring system, it's planning on 3 strings. It's planning on 2 boxes at a time. And after the delay, Matt pays for it by being off the head pin for the first time to the string, leaving the 4 horsemen down the left-hand side. See if he can right the ship here. Oh, no, he's going to miss out to the right. He's going to get behind the 2-pin, catch that wood, kick it forward. He's got the 1, the 4, and the 10 to clean up for a 10 box here. And he's going to chip out the head pin. So an 8 box, 28 through 3. I think I see Timmy back there just drooling a little bit at a chance to come back into this match. Let's see how things go here. It's going to be a little thin on the head pin coming in. He's going to wrap through the 1-3 pocket, and he's going to have a really unusual leave here with a reverse triangle. He's got the 4, the 5, and the 8. A great piece of wood leaning towards the 10. Oh, I thought he was going to be a little too high on that one, but it blew it up wonderfully for him. So a great spare. Yeah, I thought he was high. I thought he was really high on that one. Yeah. All right, 38 with the ball to go. He's going to come across again. Is that going to take out the 9? Nope, and that piece of wood's going to cheat towards the pole line. It's definitely into the pole line. It's going to find its way to the gutter. No matter how this plays out, it's a 7. And should I get on my way? I'm on my way. Up, Tim, you want me to go down instead of you so you don't have anything on your feet? Oh, he's good. All right. You never know in a 10-pin house if they've got shit on the lane. Oh. They totally. We do. I normally block that out with stats, but I wanted to see if you hurt yourself. You all right? Poor Timmy. Came up underneath the curtains there. And is it really? That explains why I can't see the pins. So apparently, in addition to being really kind of tight there, they're actually pretty far forward. And I think Tim got himself clipped on there. And unfortunately, Matt's going to miss his object there on the triangle 6. He's going to chip out the 10 pin and be looking at trying to pick up a pair of sticks here for a 55 half. And no, not going to happen. He's going to go ahead and he's going to just punch out a single tooth. 54. 4 out of 5 on the head pin and a spare and a souvenir. So people can see this is how big a candle pin really is when it's right up on your camera. Alrighty, so Tim Douglas steps up in a bit of a hole. He's down. He's going to need 55 to tie up at the half, or 54 to tie, 55 to take the lead. But more importantly, he's really trying to come back in the whole match as a whole. So every pin's going to matter. He's going to take out the right-hand side. So the 1, the 5, and everything to the left is still standing. Oh. You hit it nice and high like you think you want to do. But no love getting to the 4 or the 7. And wow, that's some great action down there. A real pretty $10. All right, so both bowlers neck and neck through the first box, but obviously Timmy's wanting a lot of extra pins here to get back in this match. Oh, premature. Well, it's kind of a. You picked up the 5, 7, 10. Pretty interesting. You know, every once in a while pins will fall over on their own either because the pin's a little older or there's something on the plate or whatever. Kind of interesting to see it take out just the 7 pin falling into the 5 and into the 10. Oh, you got a cross, which is kind of seems to be the way that this house has played nice for them, but that is rough. Rough. A 7-9 split. Unlike 10 pin, you know, because the wood is on the lane, you've got this one piece of wood way out there to the right that's you're gonna have to try to do something with it. And he does. Oh, it was worth a shot. Just wasn't there, so just the 7 pin remains. He tried to get something to move over there to get it, but it didn't want to play nice. And he's going to get by the pin. That's just for you, Jordan. 19 through 2 for Timmy. Looking to get himself started here in the 3rd box of the 4th string. All righty. Yeah, look at those. Those pins really aren't even moving in the slightest as that tubes as the deck lifts, and they are moving the minute that his ball hits him there. When the dust settles, everything but the 9 pin. He's got a piece of wood that's off to the side in front of it. Shouldn't be an issue, but at the same point in time could also help be a guide into it. Oh, he shaves it. Pretty little spare. Timmy getting his first mark of the string here as he starts to right his ship. 29 plus a ball through 3. The ACST is now up to 164 bowlers this season, as we've added in a bunch of bowlers in both the north and south, more in the north than the south, and Timmy's going to settle for a 4 fill there as he comes over to the left. We've added a Class E. Each Class E division, north and south, only has 12 bowlers in it, and there's a Class F up north with 12 bowlers. But the more bowlers that come along, the more we will try to accommodate. We take bowlers of all skill levels. Up here in Class A, I'd say, you know, you're generally looking at people that are high teens, low 20s or higher. And then it just kind of trickles down from there from the classes as Timmy tries to clean up for a 10 box. He's going to settle for a 9, leaving the head pin. So if you're a league bowler or if you're just a casual bowler and you're looking to get into something that's fun to travel around and bowl in different houses and bowl against different people, the ACST is a great league to come and join. Try to find Danny Finn on Facebook. He is the commissioner and will be the person to talk to try to get yourself signed up either to come in as a replacement this season or potentially join us if we expand some more next year. Tim's going to come across, punch through the 2, take out the 2, the 5, and the 8. So got quite a lot to work with up there on the lanes. And fires away at it. Oh, nice and high. It looks like there is a piece of wood on the inside edges of the gutter that's really thick, so there's like a big flat surface out there. And he's going to settle for an $8, so a frustrating half for him, I'm sure. 50. So I'll bring up the match stats real quickly and move my scoreboard over to the other side. So through completed boxes, we're at 445 to 393. A 52-pin edge for Matt Nichols as he fires away here in the second half of the 4th. He's going to get it nice and light, and look at the sloppy pins go all over the place. And when it's all said and done, it's got 5 pins left up on the deck. Well, 2 in the gutters, 3 on the deck, and a 10-pin to shoot at, and absolutely plucks the single pin. So a spare to open the second half, 64 plus a ball. Really trying to take this match away from Tim. This time coming over to the 1-2 pocket side. Another 9 drop, this time leaving the 4-pin. Same thing, 3 pieces of wood on the plate. They're completely, well, they're not totally useless, but you wouldn't go at them over there on the right-hand side. And just like that, accuracy matters. 2 spares in a row. Really pulling on the heat now, making it really hard for Tim to come back in the string and the match. Can understand why Matt wanted a bowl here. Oh, well, that one unfortunately finds the center. Gets the 3-2 split to the left, so the 2-4-7, and then the 6 and the 10. Tries to kick it, which you absolutely, I can imagine with the walls here and everything else, you'd give it a run. Takes out the 2 and the 7, looking at the 4, the 6, and the 10. Tries to drill at least the 2. Yep. Absolutely. So 97 with a pair to go. Sitting at 488 overall. Going to be easily into the 600s, barring some sort of a crazy outcome in the 5th. A light on the pocket, leaving the 5, the 9, and the 10. A couple pieces of wood that really make this look good up in front. I think he caught it just on the cap and drove it right back into the pit. So unfortunately, not going to be the spare that he was hoping for. Just needs a 10-pin here for a 10. And that'll be there. 107 with a box to go. Ah, they have 108. So let me see what I did wrong. 73.89. Oh, they gave him 6 on a spare when it should have been a 5. I'll talk to him at the end of the half. Hopefully he can correct that. Oh, look at this splash. Kind of not the way that I wanted. Hey, Matt. Your spare in the 7th was a 5 fill. It was a 3-2. I don't know if you want score corrections from me after the fact, after all the controversy that came up. It's fine. That's all right. Just helping Matt correct the score there on the spare. I had to ask the bowlers. We had a controversy in the league where a streamer got involved in the scoring, and I just want to make sure that the bowlers are okay if they wanted me to give them the correction before I just yelled it out there. So they corrected the score. Matt is now at where I'm showing you on the stream. $73.88. It somehow turned him into an 8 box. So we'll address that too. I'll fix that. Make sure he's got every pin that he deserves. Leaving the 1. Oh, come on. Take one more of them. That'll be a 7 fill, so a 124. And then in box 8, Matt, box 8, give yourself the 1 more pin back. Yeah, it was a 9. Sorry, Timmy. All right, so as he corrects his score there, he will end up with a 124 and at a 515 through his first 4 strings. Oh, I know. That's. But like as a streamer, we're not supposed to be the official scorer, so I want to make sure you guys are cool with it. Yeah. Yep. Timmy firing away in the second half. He's going to be thin on it, and oof. Well, let's see how this wood ends up. He's got the 4-8-10. No matter how, I don't think anything's going to knock anything down from there. This guy keeps rolling. I love being able to watch the depth of where the pins are really at. You can't not shoot at that. Yep. Grab the highlight of that one. Nice spare converting that. We were both talking about it. Matt was over here sitting next to me and just talking about that wood. You just can't not play it. He hits it right on the line or just a little above it, drives it into the 4 and the 8, and ball comes off the wall, takes out the 10. Perfect spare. 60 plus a ball. Matt put up a 70 half, so. There you go. Oh, wow. No love on the 5. I was convinced that was going down. Piece of wood came across the lane nice and quick, but unfortunately was just behind the 5 pin. Either way, it's a 19 box, and boom. Sends that stick into the sky. 2 spares in a row for Timmy, much needed. Matches Matt's 19 box and keeping pace with the 15. Hopefully he can keep this streak alive and close the gap a little here. And it'll be a 7 drop off the head pin. Little tricky leave here. He's got the 1, the 3, and the 10. I do like the wood that's behind the 3 pin, but it's one of those weird ones where you're not quite sure how it's going to fly. Oh, and he pulled it across the head pin. So you can see him kind of frustrated as he walks through the pin cam. See if you can clean this up for a 10 box. Not the way I was expecting it to, so it'll be a 9 just off the head pin. 95 with a pair to go, trailing by 2 at the moment, up against 27. So he's going to need 29 to tie the string, 30 to take it. It's not out of reach, but he just needs to put his head down and throw a couple of balls on target here. Oh, I see a wobbling pin. The 3's wiggling just a bit. Nice and light, and oh, just no love coming back for the 2 pin. That piece of wood is kind of a bit of a blocker. I wonder if he's going to step a little more to the left and come around it. I don't think that's what he's doing, so let's see what happens here. Oh, he pushes right through it. I'm wrong. Hell of a ball by Timmy, picking up the spare in the 9th. 105 plus a ball up against the 17 box. So, I mean, obviously the fill's going to be big here. He's going to need everything he can get. Probably going to need a second one in a row. And, well, he gets the fill that he wants. And, well, tough to tell with that wood. I think it's angled a bit too tight, but that's about as good as you're going to get it for it. So if he hits the piece of wood that's in front of the 4 pin on the left, that should give him the ability to drive that piece of wood behind it all the way over to the 10, pick up the split here. Oh! Oh! Wow. And unfortunately, he needed it. He absolutely needed the spare to take the string. And, yep, that ain't going to count. So that'll be a 122 when the dust settles. Frustrated. I thought you had it. It is a cruel, cruel sport. So Matt has now got a 6-point to 2-point lead, having taken the string. Looks like he's going to fire away on lane 3, so I don't have to move my scoreboard. We'll just get this out of the way. Timmy just 465 through his first 4 strings. Finds himself in a 50-pin hole going to the last match. Obviously wants to win at least the string. And would love to have a huge string to take the match as well, but we'll wait and see. Matt Nichols is going to miss the mark. Start out with a half Worcester to the right. I think that's the first time we've seen a half Worcester here today without chipping out something else. Comes across light, quite nice, but just not enough energy to push that 10 pin over. And through the double cap, picks up a 10 box. So every box in this match has been a 10 or better for Matt. At least the first box, that is. Sorry. Both bowlers will be above 50% head pin accuracy on the day. Matt's sitting at 29 with 9 to go. Tim's sitting at 25. And we're not going to see our second half Worcester of the day, this time on the left side instead of the right. And this time just off his mark. The 10-pin wobbles for him and goes down. The 7-pin wobbles but doesn't. So he's got the 1 and the 7 to clean up for a 10 box. Nice piece of wood in between the 1 and the 7. Oh, goes outside and picks it up clean. So a pair of 10s. Salvaged from half Worcesters for Matt at the beginning of the 5th string. 20 through 2. The survey says... up the middle and through. So hits the head pin for the first time and probably wishes he hadn't. He's got the 2, the 4, and the 6. And beautifully picks it up. We'll replay that one real quickly. Slides it right over, uses that piece of wood, whether he aimed for it or not. Sitting on the spare. It's going to be off his mark again. He gets the pin to drop out of the back. It is a 5, so he's got the 4 horsemen down the right-hand side and the 5 pins, so 35 through 3. See if he can blow this one up by just annihilating it in the face. Oh, just off his mark, leaving the 1 and the 6. So try to clean this up for a 10 box here. Nope. Take the back stick. It's a 9, 44 with 1. So Matt looking to sit down on a mark to make Timmy have to work a little harder for it. Timmy's probably pretty thrilled at the opportunity as Nichols is on the head pin. Everything but the 7. No wood really to help him here. It's on his own. And, ooh, just inside the pin. Just a bit inside. So he'll be open here. Let's see if he can pick it up. No, he's going to go the other way. It's going to be a 53 first half. So Tim's getting a crack at it here. See if he can right his ship. 54 will take the lead in the half, but, you know, it's still a mountain when you look it up for the whole match where he's down 103. So every pin's going to matter. Timmy's just got to have to get right at it. Now there's a pin sticking up in the pit. You see it? There's a pin sticking up in the pit against the curtain. Yeah. I don't know if it'll move if it's still sitting there. I don't know if it's caught in the curtain. You hope. Unless it's like caught in the curtain somehow. Nope, it's gone. Clear. Yeah. Are these 10-pin pin setters that have been converted? Yeah. All right, at least it went down. Yeah. Just surprised that the pit didn't get it. Yeah. All right, Timmy looking at the 4 horse down the left-hand side after a weird ball that was. Oh, good ball, but different houses will play the 4 horsemen differently, whether you want to be inside or outside. He went inside and just didn't have anything to get to the 7-pin. Nice piece of wood blocking the front of it. Cleaned out. So both bowlers neck and neck through the first, 10 apiece. We'll see what happens here as Timmy fires away in the second, looking to catch up. Smooth release. This time he gets the corner to go, so just the Starlight 5. On the left-hand side, he's got a nice piece of wood in behind the 5 to help him get to that 8-pin, so go for the diamond. Oh, he pulled it. He pulled it. He pulled it. Yep, see his frustration as he realized it too. It's 2, the 5, and the 8 remain. Still good sticking between them. Oh, off his mark. So a 7 box. 17 through 2. Nichols sitting at 568. We'll need 32 pins in the second half to have a 600. Timmy's 118 short at the moment. And, all right, at least that guy got the heck out of there. It looked like he was going to have another one of those ugly 6, 7, 9 splits, but the 2 of them went down. He's now just got the 7 pin. He's got a teasing piece of wood in the middle of the lane that's hiding behind this other one. So you kind of want to have to fire away right at the pin. Oh, just like Matt, he's going to miss this one just by a hair on the right. And he gets it the second time. So a 10 box has him at 27 through 3. Disappointed in himself for not picking up the mark there. 2 more to go in the half. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Shift just basically shaved out the front wedge, if you will. Everything but the 7 pin went down, and then the triangle 5. So a split, an interesting piece of wood over to the right. I don't think he wants to use it, but he might. He hit the 5 pin into the curtain, back on the lane, and unfortunately didn't take anything out with it, but pretty damn impressive in a way. And he's going to pick out one more. So an 8 box. Frustrating. 35 with just 1 to go. Timmy certainly wants one for the seats. I won't say he needs one for the seats, but it's about as close as you get at this point. You know, obviously he wants the string at least. Going to guess, barring anything significant, totals going towards Matt. Tim's back on the head pin, cross side. A good setup, even though it's a baby split. He's got the 3, the 5, and the 10. A nice piece of wood in between the 3. Get out of there with that front piece of wood, though. Front piece of wood is making the target area a little tighter for him. Yep, it got in the way, just like was expected, unfortunately. So no love on the 5 pin. It's one of those things where, you know, Tim throws such a fast ball. You have to wonder if it does make a difference, you know, in just how things fly. So, unfortunately for Timmy, that'll be a 44 half. He finds himself down 9 in the string. So, I think his focus is just going to be in the second half, finding a way to fight back and get as many pins as he can, try to get this string. Otherwise, he's going to find himself with just 4 points through his first 2 matches. And Matt is going to be back on the head pin. That is not a split. It's just a reverse triangle. He's got a nice piece of wood outside of the 5. So he plays that low enough, he might be able to sweep the 5, 6, 9. Or just somehow pick out just the 9 pin and leave the 5 and the 6. And now he has another piece of teasing wood over there to the right. Yep, it'll be a 9 box. 62 with just 4 to go. But again, 23 pins will have him over 600, so a 120 or better average for his second straight match. This one's going to stay outside. Take out. No, they're still tumbling a bit. If you looked at these pins as the only 5 pins standing, you don't know necessarily how you would pick up that spare. But he's left with the 1, the 2, the 5, the 7, and the 9. Piece of wood in the middle of it. Yep, that's kind of what you would expect. He's certainly not going to make it easy for Tim as he picks up a spare here in the 7th. 72 plus a ball. As we watch it just explode the way that you'd want to hit it. That 2 pin going off the wall, coming down to the 7. Picture perfect. That one's going to come across to the left. It's going to take out the arrow there, leaving the 4 horse down the right-hand side, and the 8 pin, the Coleary. That is not a head pin. And he goes at it. He blows up the front of the 4 horsemen and does the pole dance around the 8 pin, but it won't go. So he's still got the 8 and the 10 to go. Yep, might as well try to ride it over there, but settle for a 9, so 86 with 2. 86 with 2. And now, that said, it wasn't too long ago. He was, 83 for 2 and finished with a 131. So anything is possible here. These pins, these lanes will give it to you. You just got to throw a good ball on the nose. And almost as if on command, he is on the head pin, everything but the king. The wood is behind it, so you miss by enough, maybe it'll come forward and kick it, but be on target. Absolutely, no doubt about it. That is Matt's 17th spare of the match to go with 4 strikes and 10 tens, so 31 10 or better boxes, possibly 32 here as he winds up in the 10th. 96 plus a ball through 9. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. So he's going to rip the lambda out of that one there. He's actually taking out the 1, the 2, the 8, and the 9, so he's got the check mark to the right, and then the 4 and the 7 over on the left. It's a 4 fill, so an even 100 through 9. And he's going to pluck out a single pin. As the 6 goes away, you're going to want just a few here. He's at 105 at the moment. And we'll settle for, wow, unexpected 105. But a 620 for Matt Nichols. I mean, there's no argument. That's a 124 for the day. You really, no matter how you slice it, that's a good out. That's a good out. But Timmy's going to come up here now with just 44 in his first half. He's going to need 62 to take the string. If he somehow throws 112 half, he'll take the match. Not impossible. And he will start out on the head pin, breaking his streak of splits here as he leaves the left-hand wing, the 2-4-7. Matt is not happy with only settling for 620. And blows it up. A much-needed mark here for Timmy early on in the second half of the 5th string. 54 plus a ball as he just absolutely destroys the target. And as you can see, the action off the sidewall, that pin spinning back across. That's a lively, lively, lively lane. Firing away on the fill. That's going to come across into the chop zone. He's going to knock out the 258. So got quite the mess to deal with here. He's got the 4 horse down the right, the 9 sleeping behind it, the 4 and the 7 over to the left. And it's going to be a little high on the nose. And oof, how the hell he only got the 1, the 3, and the 5 out of that, I don't even know. The 4-7 and then the 9-10. Some interesting wood in the middle. Just wait a second, wait a second, wait a second as that pin cuddles up in behind there. All right. Oh, there you go. Decent out of that. Not the fill that he wanted and anything like that. He'll take the $9. 66, so 4 under par with 3 to go. Still needing 40 pins to take the string. And go for him. Go for him. Big, heavy splash kind of hit. These are the ones that I like to see at Millis that usually turn into, either 9 drops or strikes, but just kind of hit the lanes and slowed down on them. He's got the 4, the 6, and the 10. He's got a couple of pieces of wood. Shooting for the 2. And not going to be there. He's going to blow those 2 pieces of wood up, somehow not even get the 6 pin out of that. And his bowling ball is coming all the way back through the gutter. Who needs ball returns? Oh, even came up on the approach. Full fishing mode. Matt picks it up for him out of there. So Timmy's shooting at the 4 and the 6. He's got a piece of wood in front of the 4. Will it come to life? Oh, wow. Actually cut in front of the 6 pin. That is a 9 box, so 75. It's getting tight. He needs 31 to take the string. The match will go to Matt. He will have at least 10 points for today, possibly 12. Go a long way to making up for his 4 and 10, but unfortunately for Timmy, that potentially puts him at 4 and 24 early on here. Once again, he hits that nice thin hit. Don't square up on him. Takes out the 1-5. Everything off to the right, so he's got the 2-4-7-8. Piece of wood that's kind of in the way, but not really. And ooh, that was pretty. Little tension late in the match for Tim. As he sweeps away the front wing, the wood comes off the wall, comes back and trips the 8 for him. He used every piece of wood around there. And we get to watch the lane go dark one last time as they go to clear the wood out of the gutter. That's so weird. Now they unpause the screen. Actually, like if you can actually look at the displays that you see, behind the ball return there, you actually see how it goes into pause mode. The lights go out. It's kind of neat. All right, Timmy wanting a big fill here. Take a few. Take the corner. I don't believe it. That is just raw. So he's got the 7 and the 8 and the 10. He's got some great wood out front. Yeah, low side of that pin. He's looking at it. You can see it. It's like I said, the pin cam makes this so fun. You really can see exactly where they're at. Yeah. It should, but, at the same point in time, he throws so hard, I can see this going out and just taking the 10 and leaving the 9. It's on it. Oh! Proved us all wrong. Nice ball, Timmy. Well, I don't want to jinx him, but as you can see right now, it's at 102 to 105. All he needs is 3. Matt Nichols over here is just holding up 2 fingers. 4 gets in the string. The pressure's on. That's a good ball. That's a win for the string. It'll be a 10-4 split as Timmy gets the 6 fill. A much needed 6 fill. But it is going to be Matt's day, winning 10 points to 4. 620 to 573. And I think we'll call it at that, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm going to click on the replays. I'll give you some audio while the replays happen. I'm going to mute my other audio sources so that we don't get anybody in trouble. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to catch you next time I do a match. Alrighty. I'll grab that for a clip if I can. I'm going to probably miss that one by now, but they come down pretty low in the front. And Tim's pretty tall, so I've got to work hard to get over him. There we go. Let's get a clip of that one. The 1-5, everything to the left is gone. It's got kind of a crappy piece of wood out front, so you just want to get this right in the pocket there, and absolutely does. First time without a split. As you can see on the pin cam, the synthetic wood is carried right through to the pit. There you go. So good solid 9 drop. No wood to help him in front. Doesn't need it. Got the triangle 6 on the right with a stick in between. We'll see how that plays out. Plays out just fine. My splitter sucks. All right, Mr. Douglas here. On the head pin, and they're both going to go this time. If he can hit it high enough to take out the 1-2, this should snowplow the rest of it for him. And exactly that puts the spare on the strike. There we go. Finally pops his cherry in the match. His 5th head pin of the string. And there you go. Double it up. No love in the 3. Got a piece of wood out in front to play runway. But why use that when he's at least 1 pin in the right direction? He's got the 5-9 piece of wood behind the 5 if you can get to it. Right on it. Beautiful ball. Comes far enough you could use it as a sweep. We'll see how it goes. Right at the pins, and beautiful. Needing 3, everything but the 2. 4 pins surrounding it. Absolutely. So a 19 right out of the gates. He's got a really tough piece of wood right up against it. He's able to pop off of it. 2. And he's going to pop through the wood there that was in front. Same thing with Jeremy Seelholm. A little skip lob. Oh, no worse for the wear. No worse. Pretty high and heavy split. An extra pin fell, so he's looking at the 6, the 7, and the 9. Great double piece. Yep. Great planks in front of it, and a 9. And, wow. Good ball. Just as 3, so it's a 9 drop. But right on target here for another spare. Absolutely. Splits him perfectly for the spare, so, you know, when you need 100 half. Whoops, I didn't want to do it that way. 4 and the 7. He's got an interesting piece of wood up front. I mean, you can't not play this thing. Maybe up by the stripe, see what happens. Boom. Here with a reverse triangle. He's got the 4, the 5, and the 8. A great piece of wood leaning towards the 10. Oh, I thought he was going to be a little too high on that one. That's off to the side in front of it. Shouldn't be an issue, but at the same point in time could also help be a guide into it. Oh, he shaves it. Said and done. It's got 5 pins left up on the deck. Well, 2 in the gutters, 3 on the deck, and a 10 pin to shoot at, and absolutely plucks the single pin. Same thing, 3 pieces of wood on the plate. They're completely, well, they're not totally useless, but you wouldn't go at them over there on the right-hand side. And just like that. Oh, look at this splash. Kind of not really at. You can't not shoot at that. Yep. Grab the highlight. Piece of wood came across the lane nice and quick, but unfortunately was just behind the 5 pin. Either way, it's a 19 box, and boom. A little more to the left and come around it. I don't think that's what he's doing, so let's see what happens here. Oh, he pushes right through it. I'm wrong for the first time and probably wishes he hadn't. He's got the 2, the 4, and the 6. And beautifully picks it up. Necessarily how you would pick up that spare. But he's left with the 1, the 2, the 5, the 7, and the 9. Piece of wood in the middle of it. Yep, that's kind of what you would expect. And everything but the king. The wood is behind it. So you miss by enough, maybe it'll come forward and kick it. But be on target. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Matt is not happy with only settling for 620. And blows it up. A much needed mark here. Piece of wood that's kind of in the way, but not really. And ooh, that was pretty. At the same point in time, he throws so hard. I can see this going out and just taking the 10 and leaving the 9. It's on it. Oh! Proved us all wrong. Nice ball, Timmy.